The news of the Ukrainian young lady being murdered on the train in Charlotte, North Carolina, has caused quite a stir. It's on the news, and the ramifications of that are reverberating around the country. And the first person I thought of to talk about this was Mike Rose, an attorney, accomplished attorney. And the reason I wanted to talk to Mike is because Harmeet Dillon, the civil rights DOJ leader, said yesterday this is a civil rights issue. Mike, have you looked into this whole situation? I mean, what do you see happening on the world stage here with this?
Well, I think it's very interesting. First of all, I have great respect for Harmeet Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
She's very competent, very smart, very experienced in civil rights law, and had her own law firm in California where she brought many lawsuits successfully regarding civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in addition to the criminal charges filed against the man who killed the Ukrainian woman, there's the other area of what civil action could be taken by the government for violation of civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
There are numerous laws that I don't have a command of that prohibit discrimination based on certain things like race and gender, but basically, government exists to enforce or protect people's rights as defined in the Constitution, as defined in statutes. So the real issue becomes really twofold. One is, where does one civil rights begin and somebody else's end?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take transgender, for example. The transgenders who the males who want to compete in women's sports because they say they're women, say it's a violation of their civil rights not to be allowed to do so. The women who have biological males competing against them say it's a violation of their civil rights. So who's going to decide or determine who's right? And that's a matter of those definitions are provided by Congress and statutes, and by the courts interpreting the statutes and the Constitution. And sometimes it's not really clear one way or the other how to decide. But in the case of this Ukrainian woman, she's on public transportation. Evidently, the federal government has chosen to impose criminal to pass criminal laws imposing criminal penalties for crimes committed on public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
This is sort of similar to civil rights laws requiring public accommodations like restaurants to be able to discriminate and so forth. But what's happened here is Harmeet Dillon through the Civil Rights Division is evidently going to come in addition to the criminal charges. So you have a U.S. attorney prosecuting the crime, but you got Harmeet Dillon prosecuting the Civil Rights Division violations, at least investigating them. And one significance of that is that it becomes very broad. It's like who's conspiring or causing this person to be used like that, to be able to commit that crime, and to what extent are they culpable?
That was my question, because this guy's obviously judgment proof. He has no assets. He's just a thug, 14 times arrested. But the train system in the city, I mean, can a pressure be applied to these laws that way, do you think?
I think so. Mm-hmm. First of all, funding can be cut or threatened to be cut. Mm-hmm. And of course, you see that already where, like universities where President Trump is cutting money, and it makes sense logically. It's like, we don't have to give you any money. Yeah. If we're going to give you money, there's going to be conditions on it. One is not to violate people's civil rights, not to be anti-Semitic, and keep students from being able to attend without fear their classes. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing. You should be able to get on public transportation. But the real fascinating issue to me is how far is this going to extend? Because what you have are liberal judges and prosecutors not prosecuting, or just letting the same criminals out. And let me just draw an analogy. We know there was a judge in, I think, Wisconsin who actually was removed from the bench and is being prosecuted for helping an illegal immigrant to escape. Okay, so that was a very overt interference with one violation of criminal law, violation of immigration law, but secondly, arguably, it's interfering with my civil right not to have this person who's, if he was a criminal, especially out threatening the population.
Your government doesn't care about you. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. It contains life-saving medications like ivermectin, Z-Pak, and antibiotics. Stock them before they block them.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
So there's going to be a lot of litigation as a result of an aggressive civil rights division. By the way, Harmit Dillon, I saw an interview with her where she said that a large number, like hundreds, I think, of lawyers in the civil rights divisions quit. As soon as the first meeting, she said that our agenda is, we're going to enforce President Trump's agenda, and if you don't want to do that, you should leave, and they did. Mm-hmm. And she's actually shorthanded. She was shorthanded so much that she actually, I heard her say, basically, look, if you got a lawyer out there who's interested in this subject, please come and contact us, even if they have no experience. So she's got her hands full because all the civil rights division scope is going to be broader than even the criminal scope. Because criminal laws are narrower. Let me tell you how effective this can be. Mm-hmm. In my town, there were 6 women came to me. I'm in a town 20 miles from Charleston, and they complained that they were being sexually harassed and discriminated against and racially harassed. 3 of them were Black in their fire department. Mm-hmm. And I had them fill out affidavits detailing all this. And then I gave it to the town council, who wouldn't do anything. So I went to Washington and had a seminar, a continuing legal education seminar about, I guess, civil rights. In the question and answer session, I stood up and said, anybody got any experience with a small southern town? And I described what was happening. The head of the civil rights division walked up to me and gave me his card. And when I provided the information in the affidavits, they did like over a year investigation that wound up with the fire chief resigning and a bunch of changes being implemented. So this is an example where there's statutory authority for the Civil Rights Division to do investigations and impose some kind of penalties. I don't know the details of how this works. Mm-hmm. It's a specialized area of the law. But Harmit Dillon is very smart. She knows what the law is capable of doing, and they're going to push to enforce people's civil rights, and rightly so. So what this comes down to now, I used to struggle myself with, like, well, to what extent should my views be imposed on somebody else? I have a lot more clarity about this now. Mm-hmm. Our American creed is embodied in our founding documents, like the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. It's based on Judeo-Christian values. And look, you can live and let live. If you want to have your whatever you want to do as an adult, okay, but don't infringe on my rights and my culture and our values. And that's exactly what's happening when unvetted illegals are allowed in our country. Yeah, they have mental deficiencies, like this person is said to be schizophrenic, and then you have liberal judges and district attorneys who wind up not incarcerating the people that are committing violent crimes and releasing them so they can kill people like this woman yesterday.
Well, so that could be really the key that picks the lock to stop a lot of this Soros-funded DA issues where they're not prosecuting and all that. There's been a lot of criticism of the civil rights civil rights law in the last year or so because of people are saying it enabled a lot of this, enforcing your ideology on others over the last couple decades. But maybe this can be used against that as well. Go
Well,
ahead.
it's a political decision
Mm-hmm.
how much to enforce and
Mm-hmm.
how to interpret certain laws. I mean, the law is imperfect, so and not only that, my civil rights and your civil rights may be, in your view, may be clashing.
Yeah.
So we have courts that interpret it. We have just government officials like district attorneys, but we have, in my view, a conservative government now.
Mm-hmm.
And Harvey Dillon is implementing President Trump's agenda, and his agenda includes getting violent people off the street,
Yeah.
and not subjecting innocent people like this young girl that just got killed to the threats of violent criminals being on the loose and mentally ill, evidently. So,
well, that just, if you watch, there's more of the video out of her actually getting killed, and it's horrific. I mean, it made me sick. People need to watch that and understand what's happening. It's not just some, incident on the train. I mean, she's sitting there crying and she's dying. I mean, it's bad.
evidently, she knows she's dying.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's helping her. Nobody's applying pressure. And what's also angering to me is the inconsistent, hypocritical way the press treats us, the mainstream.
Yeah.
So if that had been a white person doing it to a black, it would have been nonstop national news. Because it's a black against a white, it doesn't fit their narrative, and they basically ignore it. And when they don't ignore it, they frame it differently, like Trump's trying to exploit this, and this kind of thing. So the real story, according to the leftist media, the mainstream media, is not that she got killed by an illegal that was released repeatedly after being arrested. Instead, that it's being advertised or talked about.
Yeah.
So it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was. I know the Ukrainians well, and they're good people, and that's just horrific. Mike, thank you very much for your time. I kind of made you work today, so sorry about that. Take care. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Ciao.
Take care.